Hi instructors, I hope your classes have been going well. The purpose of this short video is two things. So one is that if you received the Wacom tablet, I'm going to just plug it right in here and we're going to see how we can sort of install any software that needs to be installed and use it. And then the second thing is I'm going to show you guys about this great virtual whiteboard software. It's called Openboard, and just sort of show you some of the functionality of it. Okay, great. So if you have recently received a tablet, it is a tablet. It has a stylus pen, and then there's a plug. So I'm just going to plug it right into the computer and see what happens. See if anything pops up. Something pops up. It gives me a setup wizard. Of course, this is a PC, so this is what it looks like on a PC. So let's set it up in a few easy steps. Okay, and so here it's just telling us about how we can use the button that's on the pen to simulate a right click. So that's great, thank you. Here it's telling us about what these keys are for. So if we want to learn more about express keys, we can go to the Wacom Desktop Center. That's great. I don't really use them, but please feel free. The pen hover, so basically when you're around close to the tablet, you'll be able to see this little cursor, this where your pen is. So that's actually very helpful when you're doing instructional videos or when you are writing on a virtual whiteboard. Pen mapping, so it says that if you put the pen in the top right corner, it'll snap directly to the top right corner of the screen. Cool, that's great. Let's register it. Not now. Outstanding. Let's go done. And here we are. Let's get started. Okay. Says follow the steps below, so we already plugged it in. We're going to download and install a driver, so if you're a Mac or Windows. So I'm a Windows. And here we go. And do we want to extract this thing? You bet we do. I accept whatever it is that you're telling me to accept. Okay, so success. We want to restart. So I'm going to stop this recording and we'll restart and then see what it looks like. Alright, and we're back. So this tablet driver has been installed, and now if you take the pen and just place it right above the tablet surface, you're going to see that you're able to move the cursor around, and you'll should also see this baby right here, the desktop center. And so this will allow you to register it if you want. There's some free software if you want to check that out. Please feel free. That's totally great if you want to do that. But basically, you can use this pen as you're hovering, just as if you would use a mouse, right? Okay, so what does this allow you to do? Well, so this is really nice if you're in your Zoom meeting. So let's pull up our Zoom meeting right here. I'm meeting myself. How fun. And we can plop over our whiteboard. Let's share the whiteboard. And now, if I want to draw something, I don't have to use my cursor, but I can actually do things like this, right? I can sign my name, I can do x squared plus y squared equals to z squared, and all these kinds of things. Basically, you can write on the tablet as if you were writing on a whiteboard. So that's really great. That sort of explains what the stylus can do for you. So I wanted to right now, let's just get out of let me leave my meeting with myself. So I want to introduce you to this software that I found is really helpful, and let's go get it. So here we are. It's called Openboard. So if you just search Google Openboard, it's going to be the best interactive whiteboard for schools. You want to click on it. So it's open source. It's entirely free. You just click on our Get It for Free and choose your Mac or your Windows. I already downloaded it, but you would just download Openboard and install it just like one would install a program. And let me show you what it is. So Let's just click on it to open it. So basically, it is also a whiteboard, similar to the whiteboard that exists inside of Zoom. So in this whiteboard, you can, you can draw things, you can change the color of what you're drawing, you can make lines, thicker or thinner. You can erase what you drew, and this is all fine. This is exactly what you can do within the Zoom whiteboard. You can also do a couple of nifty things. So if you go down here to the documents, what I can do if I want to is I can import a document. So let's import a classwork problem. So let's import our classwork. Oh, I already imported that one, so let's import a different one. Well, that's fine. Let's import this one. Station problems. Should be fun. That's fine. Let's just replace it. And so when you import a PDF or another document, all the pages get imported there. And if I say, let's go to page 1, I want to see page 1, I would click on page 1 and then go back to the board. And there, page 1 is right there for me, right? And what's nice about this is what I can do is I can make it bigger. I can drag it across the screen, right, for example. And then I can write about it and say, oh, okay, let's annotate, right? I'm going to make my line size a little smaller. 5 gallons of milk, $9. What's the value of A? Solve for A, la, 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 right? All like that. And then if I want to drag it and say, let's go to the next problem, right? All the annotations stay on this image, right? Because this image is now part of the whiteboard. So that's pretty cool. Of course, we can erase, and it will not erase the PDF text. It'll just erase what you drew over it. And there's probably a couple other functions here. I don't know, highlighter or something like that. So you can definitely check around with that, or check that out. What's really cool about this particular software is this one right here. So if you go to, oh, sorry, I did that a little too quickly. If you go to Show Desktop, right down here, Show Desktop, what we have is it looks like we're just back on the desktop. I still have my little control panel here, right? But I can draw right on top of my desktop, right? And I can erase. And this is something that you cannot do in Zoom, right? So if you're using the whiteboard within Zoom, you can write on that whiteboard. Great. You can share your screen. You can say, oh, let's go look at this video, right? That's all great. But you can't actually, when you get out of your virtual whiteboard and say you're sharing your screen to showing a tab, right? So let's take an example of that. Let's say we wanted to go to Desmos, right? Desmos, which is this really nice, graphing things. Let's say we want to graph, y equals x squared. There we go. There's our quadratic. Within Desmos, right, we can zoom and all like that. That's totally fine. But what you can do with this whiteboard, oh, no, I don't want to create an account. What you can do with this whiteboard dealie is you can say you can project this while you're sharing your screen, right? So you're sharing your screen through Zoom, right? You're pulling this up on a tab. Here is your quadratic, and you can say, oh, what is this point right here? Who can tell me, right? And you can actually interact with anything that you can pull up on a tab in any browser. And you can draw, you can write on any of these images, and that's really cool. So that's something that I would definitely recommend that you install this software, the Openboard software. It's pretty straightforward. If I wanted to get out of this world right here, I just click right here, and that's going to get me back into being able to see the bar right here. I can show desktop, right? This is how I show desktop. This is how I go back to our whiteboard. And if I want to get out of it, let me just quit Openboard, right? There are also ways where you can save your images if that's something that you're interested in doing. So great, I hope that this was helpful, and hope all is well.